So today's video is going to be a response to Buzzfeed and their questions that Muslims have for non-Muslims. And believe me, this video is just pure cancer, but why tell you about it when I can show you and subject you to the bleach drinking inducing mind-numbing cancer that is Buzzfeed, you know? Let's drink bleach together, eh? Come on, let's drink it.
What's the deal with Santa? So breaking and entering is okay long as it's a chubby white dude.
Firstly, I think you'll find that's an incredibly racist statement you just made about St. Nicholas, sir. St. Nicholas was actually from Turkey, so he wasn't actually white. He was a Turkish man. Absolutely sickening behaviour. Terrible behaviour. How dare you misidentify somebody? How dare you? That's just disgusting. If that were a white person doing it to a black person, you would quite rightly attack the person for being a racist. How dare you, you racist? How dare you?
And he's eating your mama's cookies?
I think you'll find that Christians allow him into their houses. They give him free reign to do whatever he wants to do with the presents and the coal for the bad kids. And they give him the cookies and a carrot, if you're so inclined, for the reindeer. Usually for Rudolph, because who cares about the other reindeer who slog it out all the time. But yeah, Santa is not breaking and entering, he's actually being invited in. Only for some reason we're not allowed to see him because he's not real.
When are you gonna stop asking me if I pray 5 times a day? That's so mean.
Oh boo-hoo, one person asked if you pray 5 times a day and all of a sudden that's mean. Why is it mean, eh? Why is it mean? I'll give you a clue that the guy isn't a very good Muslim.
Because I don't. I feel guilty.
Well then, you have no right to complain when that one person asks that one question that nobody ever asks Muslims, as I've never asked them, do you pray 5 times a day? I think it's pretty much a given that most of them do. You feel guilty. It's your own fault, mate. You shouldn't feel guilty about something that you don't do, because you're a terrible Muslim. Doing the most important thing. In fact, why are you even here? Why are you even considering yourself one? Because ISIS, pretty much all the normal ones and a few others would think, this guy is a terrible Muslim, no true Muslim. Seriously, why are you complaining about that? It's your own fault.
Why must you put bacon in everything?
Bacon-infused donuts? Come on now.
Is this water safe to drink? There's bacon in this water, huh?
Your culture eats a food that we find is haram. We don't like it. You see, this is the type of behaviour that people don't like from Muslims like you guys. See, most Muslims don't do this. They don't judge people based on the food they eat. They tend to just, you know what? We don't eat it. You eat it. Who cares? But Buzzfeed has to find the one group who will complain about that. I mean, firstly, bacon is an absolutely amazing piece of food. I mean, I'm not the biggest pork eater. There's very few pork foods that I will eat, but bacon is the one that I will eat hands down because it's absolutely amazing. In fact, former Muslim focus break Habib said that eating bacon was the thing that made him become an atheist, because he was like, why have they banned this? It's absolutely amazing. And besides, on another note, we don't see Jews complaining about people who aren't Jewish eating pork. Why do these people have to complain about it? It's a great food, you should try it sometime and not let some mythical book tell you otherwise, but hey, whatever.
Do you really think women wearing a hijab don't have hair underneath? Do you think that when you see someone with a beanie, a hat, a hoodie?
We're not even a couple of seconds into the video, which isn't very long by the way, and already they're making their next falsehood. No, I don't think anybody has ever thought that Muslim women who wear the hijab are hairless. I've never thought that. Not even the racist has thought that. It's quite obvious that these women have hair. And who knows, maybe some are bald. I don't know. It's a very rare sight to see a bald woman naturally, but yeah, so what? Nobody's ever thought that. That's not an urban myth. You should be more concerned at the fact they have such a bad reputation.
Why do you think all Muslims are Arab?
There aren't 1 billion people in the Middle East. That's geographically, physically, intellectually impossible.
No, people don't think all Muslims are Arab. They just think most are, because that's probably an accurate assumption to make. Even though we know that most Muslims live in Indonesia, a lot of them live in India, a lot of them live in Pakistan. They're not Arabs. But no, it's just an assumption because that's where the faith comes from, the Middle East. specifically Arabia, so people put two and two together. That's not being racist, it's being ignorant, it's not being racist, or it's not being prejudiced towards Muslims. Yes, I know Islam is not a race, but they're talking about Arabs and non-Arabs who are Muslims, so what am I supposed to do?
Why are only Muslims mentioned in talks about religious extremism? Did y'all forget about the KKK? Westboro Baptist Church? Crusades?
The Crusades ended in like 1291, if not later, depending on the historian's point of view. There were several more up to and including the 1400s. In fact, a lot of the ones after the ones in the Middle East happened in Europe against German tribes who were still pagan. Yeah, not a lot of people seem to know that, or just keenly omit that part of history, but who cares with what she was saying? Well, see, the problem is, right now, the faith with the most issues with religious extremism just so happens to be your own faith. And about the other two things that you said, the KKK are like, what, tens of thousands strong in the US, and they haven't got the manpower, the resources, nor the capacity to be able to commit the type of extremism that you are referring to. And the Westboro Baptist Church simply go around and picketing funerals and other things like that. They don't go around causing violence. The KKK used to when they had the power, but now they don't. Because if they did, they'd get their asses beat. Again, false equivalence. Don't give me this crap, okay? Plus, the KKK aren't really religious. It's more of a ethnic thing. The Westboro Baptist Church are religious, but then again, who cares? You're going to find anything that you can try to pin on other religions, even though one of them has nothing to do with religion per se, considering they just...
We all have the bad seeds in the family.
Why?
That somehow excuses Islam because some other religions, even though one isn't actually a religious organisation, it's a white nationalist organisation, had bad things in the past or have bad apples now who aren't violent but are extreme. You can't compare a bad apple in the family to ISIS or to Al-Qaeda. You just can't. That's just a ridiculous statement. Jesus Christ, more false equivalencies. Are you really going there, girl? Are you really going there? God, Buzzfeed just find the most ridiculous and utterly moronic people in their videos. And this is only 1 minute and 50 seconds and it feels like I've been responding to an incredibly long video.
You assume all Muslim women are conservative virginal souls. And I am, if my mom's watching.
Again, who assumes this? I don't assume that. Other people have never assumed that. And yeah, just because you aren't doesn't mean that others do hold to that belief which the Quran tells them to. So far, we've got a bunch of people who aren't very good Muslims telling us how wrong we are because we aren't. This doesn't make any sense. If anything, you guys are hypocrites because you can't even follow your faith correctly.
Why do you expect every Muslim woman to wear a headscarf? Is every Catholic woman dressed like a nun?
That's because, again, the Quran tells them, and men actually, to cover up, to dress modestly. So it stands to reason that people would expect most of them, which Muslims do, especially in the Middle East, where it's even more extreme, and in certain places in Asia, to do so, because I've seen men do it. They'll dress in the long flowing robes or garments, whatever you want to call them, and women do the same. It's something that people expect the average Muslim to do, and that's what the average Muslim tends to dress like.
Does every Jewish man wear a yarmulke? Does every Shrek wear a tunic?
Also, in regards to the Catholics, actually, the nuns have to wear that as part of their uniform, and in fact, not all nuns wear it. In fact, if you are a sister, you can wear a suit. I remember this because I went to a Catholic college and the sister wore a suit. She wore a normal businesswoman's suit. Now, this is because it's modern times now and maybe the church is more relaxed on that issue. I don't know. But they can choose to wear it or not, and most of them choose to wear it. And as for the yarmulke, isn't that just usually worn for religious purposes? You know, like going to the synagogue or something. Some will wear it as part of their day-to-day uniform, but otherwise they don't have to. You lot have to. It's part of your rules, and you're breaking that rule by not wearing it. But more power to you. I couldn't care less.
Are you really scared that we're gonna take over America with Sharia law? I can barely wake up for Fajr, let alone wage a holy war.
So if you weren't as lazy as you are currently and not a very good Muslim, you would be trying to put Sharia law into America. The reason why people are scared is because right now extremism is on the rise, especially homegrown extremism, because the internet and people can't seem to stop the young Muslims and some older ones from getting radicalised extremely quickly. So they assume, and especially since we've recently had jailed people like Anjan Chowdhury, all sorts of people in my country at least, advocating for it. And then we have Theresa May saying that it's not so bad. Yeah, people have a right to be worried about that, especially as there are a lot of people agitating for it, they'll probably never get it. 99% sure they won't. But what you said then was just so funny. I don't think you meant to say that you would do it if you weren't lazy, but I just think that was funny to point out.
You really think I want to donate 2.5% of my income to charity? Nah, that's hella McChickens.
Damn, you can't even follow the good part of the Quran where it says give to charity? Jesus, you're not just a bad Muslim, you're a bad person. Look, I don't usually give to charity because I can't trust where my money goes to, especially with the big ones. If there was a charity where I knew my money was going directly to the people I was helping, sign me up. I will donate what I can. In fact, she's been diagnosed with cancer and I'm going to help with charitable efforts with her. So yeah, at least I'm trying to do something, and I'm a godless atheist.
What is the secret ingredient in church's chicken? It's so good.
I'm sure it is good, but 2.5% of your wealth is nothing. You can still get your chicken, mate.
How can I hang out with the new Pope? Because he is dope.
Well, he did say that if you insult any religion, you deserve to be shot. So, and that's the end of the video, people. I hope you enjoyed the utter cancer that is Buzzfeed, and I hope you enjoyed me rebutting the utter cancer that is Buzzfeed. So until next time, see you later.